Hi everyone, I wanted to make this quick video just to help with the most recent resource assignment. Several people have struggled in doing the correct format for SBL, so I just wanted to give you some pointers here about what to do. So first of all, I've sent out this website before. I'll also accompany it with this video. But what you're going to want to do is on the website you can scroll down, and for instance the very first example that they give is how you would cite a book. So notice in SBL style we have for the footnote. Now this is footnote. We'll talk about bibliography in just a moment. For the footnote you do the author's name, comma, and then put the book title in italics, and then no period, no comma, then simply parentheses, the city of publication, colon, the publisher, comma, the year, close parentheses, and then a comma after the close parentheses, and the page number that you're citing. Make sure to put a period at the end. That's for the first time that a source is used in a footnote. After that, you're going to use a shorter listing. So for instance, down here it says subsequent footnote. So this Levering book would now just be Levering, comma, Jesus. That's the first word here that appears. And 195. So that's the next page that's cited, and a period. So after the first footnote, if you're going to cite the same source, you would use a shorter, the shorter version of that. For the bibliography, notice it goes last name, comma, first name, period, and then the title of the book again in italics, and then period, the city, colon, space, the publisher, comma, the year of publication, and a period at the end. Notice you don't use parentheses for the bibliography. Okay, so this is for citing a book. What about citing an article? Well, you can click over here to articles and essays, and they'll show you how to do a reference article. But most of you are using journal articles. So what you'll do here is, just like with the book, you're going to list the author's name first, and then comma, and then not in italics, but in quotation marks, the title of the article, and make sure that you put a comma before you close the parentheses. So comma, close parentheses. And then you're going to put the journal in italics. Now most journals will be abbreviated. So this is the Journal of Biblical Literature, so it's JBL. Now notice the number, or the issue number, is 81, but you're not going to put NO period or anything like that. Just JBL 81. If they give you more information than that, for instance, if they say volume 6, issue 7, you would just say 6.7. You can put a period there, 6.7. Then inside the parentheses, you put the year. It is okay to include the month if you want to do that as well. So you could say January 1962, and then close parentheses. Notice colon. Colon comes directly after the parentheses, and then a space, and then the page number, and then a period at the end. Always a period at the end. That's for the first footnote. For later footnotes of the same source, then just the last name of the author, and just, since this is a really short title, it doesn't help as much, but the idea is that you provide enough of the title of the article in quotation marks again to indicate what work it is, and then comma, close parentheses, close quotations, and then the page number and a period at the end. Notice for the bibliography, last name, comma, first name, period, in quotation marks, the title of the article, period. Notice that the period goes before the quotation marks, and then the article, the journal, italicize. Make sure you italicize journal titles, and provide the bibliographic information. Notice you're going to use a colon here again, and then space, and the numbers, page numbers that article appears in the journal. Make sure to use here an N dash, not an M dash, or a regular dash. An end dash is a slightly elongated dash. It indicates a series of numbers. So this means the numbers 1 through 13. So let's get a little practice with this. What I'd like for your assignment to look like is a short paper. Now, it doesn't have to read like a short paper because I've asked you for one paragraph about each source. So that would be 4 paragraphs, 3 articles, and 1 book. So, for instance, I just have some random text here. And let's say I wanted to include bibliographic information or footnote information. We'll go back to this website, and I'm going to go up and let's say first I'm citing a book. So here's the book. Now, obviously, haven't read this book. I haven't cited. I'm not legitimately citing it, but I want to show you what to do. So I'm just going to take this information and copy it, and then go back to my Word document. And let's say I wanted to insert a footnote there. So I would go to References, insert footnote, and now to slide the screen down just a little bit. I'm going to paste this in there, but when I do that, I'm going to paste it without any formatting, so it won't be too complicated. Now, if you remember right, this has all the correct information in it, but the formatting is not correct completely because I need to italicize the title like this. Okay. Now, if I were going to cite it again, so maybe my second footnote, I would simply say Levering Jesus and whatever page I did, 109. Okay. I want to italicize Jesus because this is a book. Remember, books are different because they have different citation rules than articles. So let's say my second paragraph is about an article, and we'll just use the article that they used. So this one here. And let's put a footnote there. Then I'm going to paste that in there. Again, this information would not be, you don't copy and paste it yourself from the website. Instead, you use the sources that you've looked up that I've asked you about. So I want to make sure that's italicized because JBL is supposed to be italicized. Notice again, no number or issue listed. And what I mean by that is don't put the word number or NO period or anything like that. So this is what it should look like. To complete the bibliography, we can go to the next page. If I were going to do a bibliography, then I would alphabetize by last name, and I would include these sources, but don't do it in this format. Don't use this format here. Instead, use the format as is listed on this in the website. So like so. Now, since Sandmel comes after Levering alphabetically, then I'm going to go and see. There we go, right there. Levering comes first. So I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to italicize the book title, like so. And then technically, to do a bibliography in SBL format, this should have a slightly different format. So one last thing you can do, let's do it this way. So I'll do this so you can see what's going on here. The spacing, I would go to, let's see, paragraph. So I select all the text, go to paragraph, and it should be hanging here. So for indents and spacing, for indentation, it should be hanging. And what happens is it makes the second line indented, the second part of the, the second line of the reference. So in bibliography, that actually is the format you're supposed to use, hanging indent. And I'm going to be less concerned about that than making sure that you have formatted the items correctly. So this should be enough information to help you succeed on this assignment. A short paragraph just explaining what the source is about. You don't have to be an expert about it. You don't have to cite it 15 times. You just need to. What I'm really looking for is that you know how to find a source and that you know how to cite it. That's the purpose of the exercise.